Hi, my name is Bennett Donovan. I am a senior at Beloit Memorial High School, and I am currently a welcome intern here at the Welty Environmental Center in Beloit, Wisconsin. Welcome stands for Wisconsin Educational Leadership for Community Outreach and Mentoring for the Environment. I studied the pedosphere protocol on GLOBE, studying the change in soil temperature at different elevations. So soil temperature, with previous research I've done, I found that soil temperature is typically higher at lower elevations. Multiple factors can affect soil temperature. Things like air temperature and moisture content can all affect soil temperature. So here at Welty, we have collected instrument shelter data that has shown a linear relationship between air temperature and soil temperature. So as the air temp goes up, the soil temperature will also go up. Moisture affects the soil temperature. From other research I've read, I found that it does affect soil temperature. Moisture does. Elevation also affects soil temperature. This kind of goes with air temp, because at a lower elevation, air temp is typically higher at the lower elevation. So my project focused on 4 locations across Big Hill Park, with the high elevations ranging from 273 to 280 meters and the low elevations ranging from 239 to 252 meters. So I have 2 locations in each of those elevation ranges. My research question, how does a difference in elevation affect soil temperature? So my methods for this project, I used just a needle thermometer to measure the soil temperature. Measured at each of the locations for 2 minutes, and measured at 5 centimeters and 10 centimeters beneath the soil surface, doing two minutes for each of those. I also measured the ambient air temperature at each location. Again, those locations ranging from 273 to 280 meters for the high elevation and 239 to 252 meters for the low elevation. So my results, I did find there was a strong relationship between the 5 and 10 centimeter depths. The R-squared value for those is 0.632, which means there is a fairly strong relationship between the 2 depths. So the temperatures for those are fairly close to the same. I also found that the soil temperatures were typically higher at the lower elevations. There'd be a few times where the temperature would be higher at the higher elevation, but for the most part, they were higher at the lower elevations. So that, the data does show that elevation does have an effect on soil temperature. And with that, finding that at the lower elevation and measuring air temperature, there was a higher air temperature at the lower elevation, so this could also have an effect on it. As I said before, with finding the linear relationship between the air temperature and soil temperature. So future studies with the pedosphere protocol could include collecting data on the soil moisture content and seeing if that has an effect on soil temperature. Maybe finding a dry area in a high elevation and finding a wet area in a low elevation and seeing how those temperatures compare to each other. So finally, I'd like to thank Michael Notaro, from the UW-Madison Research Center for Climactic Research at the Nelson Institute, the National Science Foundation for funding, and the Welty Environmental Center for field and logistical assistance.